Hi everyone and welcome to Claudia's channel. Today's topic it's a very interesting one. We will be talking about the female reproductive tract, the female anatomy, and I will be stressing on the ovaries. I'll be talking about the fallopian tubes. I'll be talking about the uterus, which is also known as the womb. I will also talk about the vagina. So stay with us. This is a picture, a view about on how the female reproductive tract looks like, and I am doing this topic today because I posted on my Facebook page and also on my Instagram about ovulation. So I got a lot of questions about from women that don't know when they ovulate, and they actually don't know about their body. So I decided to first talk about the whole part of our the female anatomy to explain a little better, so when I have to go back and talk about anything like ovulation and all that, because it's going to be a series, I'm going to talk about so many things, so different things, and so they'll actually get to understand what I'm talking about. So this is how it looks like, and I will bring my camera a little bit close to the I brought the camera a little bit closer to the computer, so in this way I can easily show you and it's visible what I have to explain. So I will be starting first with the ovaries, and the ovaries there are two, and there are one on the left and one on the right part. And the ovaries, they are the primary sex organ of the female reproductive organs, and they are responsible for producing the egg. The process of them producing this egg is called the ovulation. The ovulation, I will talk about that in another video, not now. So like I said, there are two, and they are quite small, very small. They have this oval shape, and they are in the ovaries. We have egg in it. So this, I think, these are like the eggs. They're really quite small, and the ovaries, they produce egg and hormones. So here we also have the fallopian tube. I will talk about the fallopian tube now. It's also known as the urinary tube, and these tubes are very narrow. They are attached to the upper part of the uterus. You can see it here. And the fallopian tube are also two, one left and also one at the right. And they are responsible for, you can see this fiber that looks like a finger. They're responsible for swiping the egg, this egg, into the vagina. And under normal circumstances, the fertilization of an egg by a sperm normally take place here in the fallopian tube. So they normally occur there, and the eggs are being fertilized and then moved straight to the uterus, where they have to implant there. It takes a long journey as well. It takes days for them to do this and get to the uterus, and they get planted in the uterus and eventually becomes a fetus. From a fetus, when they want to deliver, if it becomes when it's delivered, it's then called a baby. And that's one thing about the fallopian tubes. And if these eggs that are produced in the ovary, they are not being fertilized, they are also fertilized, because if it's fertilized, they've come across the sperm, and they move here to the uterus, and you continue to stay in the tube. This tube might erupt and it to become an ectopic pregnancy. So because these are pregnancies that cannot stay, because it can't stay here, the fallopian tube cannot really hold a baby. So that is it. It has to come to the uterus. This is the home where they should stay for a delivery. It's for her to develop. So another part of the organ is the uterus, which is also known as the womb. It's quite small. It's about 5 to 6 centimeters long. It increases after childbirth, and after childbirth, it increases a little bit, not really that much. It depends on if you have twins, pregnancy, and stuff like that. And here, the uterus is actually the home of where the fetus has to really develop, and it's divided into parts. We have like one part of it is called the cervix, and also we have it's divided into parts, and it has different layers. I wouldn't want to talk about the layers for now because I don't think it's important. And it actually contracts the uterus, and also at the cervix here. The cervix here, it's there's a lot of mucus. It's a very important part as well. It contains a lot of mucus here, and this mucus is really useful to clean up the vagina. Most all the mucus we do produce are being produced here in the cervix, and the cervix actually cannot open more than 10 centimeter, and it's also known, they also call it the neck of the uterus. You can see this is the uterus, so it's more or less like the neck of the uterus. It's called, another name for it is the neck of the uterus, and it's used, the child, the baby, the fetus has to go through this, and when it's time for labor, it has to open to maximum, it can't go more than 10 centimeters for the baby to come out. And the uterus is really quite small. It's more or less like 40 to 50 grams. It's not heavy, and it's like 5 to 6 centimeter long. So that's one thing about the cervix. And also I will move to the vagina here. The vagina is actually, like I said earlier, a lot of mucus do come from the cervix here to the vagina. And first, if I come to the vagina, I want to stress on here, if you have, I would advise as a woman to always try and do a pap test, because you can, with the pap test, you can easily notice if there are any kind of cervical cancer, because they are always formed from here, and this cervical cancer are really dangerous to women. So it's really important and advisable for a woman to do a checkup every 2 or 3 between 2 to 3 years, 2 to 3 years period of a time. So what am I saying? Like maximum every 2 years or every 3 years, sorry about that. And knowing that if you do that, it's you have to detect this virus there, and if the virus is not there, it's fine. If it's there, so there are other procedures that have to go after that. So that is it for, it's very, very important for us to know this. So every woman should do a checkup if you are sexually active. So that's one thing about the cervix. And the vagina, the mucus that is produced here cleans up the vagina. That's one of the reasons we don't really have to use soap to wash our vaginas, and it's really clean, because if we use the soap to wash it, it will take off the bacteria. We have the good and the bad bacteria, so it might even take off the good bacteria. It will not be balanced anymore. So when you do bad bacteria is low or the good bacteria is high, it might cause an infection that you need to start. You have a vaginal infection that you need to start cleaning out, taking medications or anything to cure. So it's really important that we don't really wash our vagina with any kind of soap, Intima, or anything. We only use those things to wash the outer layer of the vagina. So this is the part of the female reproductive tract. So I will be talking about the this is the internal part. So I'll be talking about this the external part now. So I just have to change the image here and explain it a little bit more better. Okay, so this is how the female external reproductive organs looks like, and here we have the labra majora, and this is the labra majora. It's quite big. It's also known as the big lips or the large lips, and their function is actually to protect the external organs. And we also have the labra minora, which is also known as the small lips here inside, and they are actually located inside the labra majora. And we also, they are joined in here. Don't know if you can see it. And we also have what we call the clitoris, which is just here, directly up over there. And the clitoris is actually where you get the pleasure from, where you have sexual intercourse, where you feel that the pleasure is full of a lot of nerves. And there also, directly below the clitoris, we have what we call the uterus. We have that, and that is actually a very small hole. I don't know if you can see, it's quite small, smaller than the clitoris. That's actually where we do pee from, simply where the ladies urinate from. It's the very small hole. And under the large and the big lip, the small or the big lip, there is also an external part of the vagina, which is this hole you're seeing in here. And that is where the blood comes out during menstruation, or if you have to have a sexual intercourse, it takes place there. Babies are being pushed out from this hole We spoke about the other part of it, the internal part of it earlier on. The babies they come out through this hole, and also the vagina is very elastic and it has high healing properties. From birth, the vagina is normally covered with a membrane, and really from birth, and this membrane is called hymen, which breaks during sexual intercourse, and that's where you see the blood from, it bleeds. No, actually not all women experience bleeding during rupture of this hymen, and for various reasons, there are reasons for that why you don't see you don't have to see blood. So it's not really a problem. It happens and it's normal. It's normal, it happens. And then lastly, down here we have what we call the anus. That's the hole from here, and you all know that from the anus we do excrete from there. That's where the poo-poo, let's put it that way, comes out. So women have 3 holes. We have the uterus, which is this. We have also as one hole, we have hole here as well as in the vagina where the baby comes out from, and we also have hole here, which is the anus. So to avoid any kind of infection of this parts, the uterus and the vagina, so we always have to make sure that we wash the vagina or the uterus first before washing the anus. You don't have to clean up, down, up, but rather clean up, down. This also applies to so you don't take the germ into the germ from the anus in there. So this also applies when you're trying to clean up a baby, a female baby. So with the diapers, you want to change the nappies or the diapers, you don't really have to use the wipes to clean down, up. You rather clean up, down. This is just the reason why we the reason is just for us to avoid infections or taking bacteria in there. So I hope you enjoy this part of it. So that is all we have today about the female reproductive system, and I hope you enjoyed it. So we'll be coming up with other videos. We have a series out there that we want to bring out to you guys. Like, we have some different kind of topics that we want to talk about, so feel free to share our videos, like and subscribe as well to our channel. We're on Facebook as Claudia. We're also on Instagram as Claudia1, and on YouTube as Claudia as well, and on Twitter. So we'll be coming up with our next video very soon. So share, invite and subscribe. Bye bye.